question mark, slant sign, um, apostrophe, but not quotation mark. Quotation mark wasn't allowed, so we had to use apostrophe twice. And like if we wanted to send something like the at symbol, which was still existed back then, we'd have to send it as circle A, circle hyphen A. And one of the symbols that surprises amateurs is the cross, because you could send arithmetic. You could say 1 + 1, and the plus was da 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 da, which is amateurs know as AR. But that's, you type a cross when you hear that, and the equal sign is da 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 da, BT, and that's an equal sign. So when you hear BT, you hit BT. The Western Union in the Navy used to say BT was begin text, and it's very interesting. And in the amateur practice, they start out a message with HR, and that's a Western Union practice for hand ready. HR,
David,
HR MSG. And the MSG doesn't stand for message, it stands for Master's Shipgram. And there's
David,
different,
who 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 changed VA to SK?
they're both the same thing.
I know, but when I was in the service, it was always da 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 da, and when I went into ham radio, it was da 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 da. Do you remember VA at all, or was it always SK to you?
No, I learned it as VA too,
Yeah,
but it's the same thing.
I know it. Sure.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Hey, listen, I spent a year on Johnson Island during the war at an HFDF station, and the call letters were NJE, dotted, da 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 da, dit. But when you swing it, it's da 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 dit. Got it?
Hey, did you
T2.
ever know where the call sign ABM was? Alpha Bravo Mike?
No.
I heard that on a trip through the Pacific one time, and I've never found out. What I think it was Kwajalein Island, because it's the only thing that was American that meets that. One time there was an SOS on a Japanese ship when we were about 100 miles north of it. So the Kodiak, Coast Guard in Honolulu, November Mike Oscar, sent out a SOS using their modulated CW, which was a CW carrier with a 440 hertz double sideband modulation. And then, see if I get the call right. NPG, is that San Miguel in the Philippines? They had a station still in the 80s, but it was only send and receive only on 500. He could transmit only on 500. He could receive only on 500. So you'd have to send your traffic right on 500. But it was distress, and we were the closest ship, so we sent messages back and forth to him. I've never heard him before, but like I guess there were some secret little stations.
Could be. Okay, I gotta get going, David. It was such a pleasure to see you and meet you and talk to you again.
Yeah, it was nice to talk to you again, and it's a sad day that you had to close those stations. They were beautiful stations,
Oh
and
yeah.
the last one to go was KFS, and I just wrote a letter to one of the operators there at KFS, who was one of the best operators around, and I'm trying to convince him to get his amateur license. And I finally found out where he lived, and I wrote him a letter, and he used to, like, I'd go on a new ship, and like the guys wouldn't know who you were, but I'd call up and call at KFS for traffic, and because they knew that I was a sneaky operator, I'd tail end the other operators. I'd tune around the ship working frequencies, find out what frequency the ship was using, and zero beat the ship and call KFS after that. And he goes, "Is this David Ring?" And they would recognize me right away.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Bob?
John, nice seeing you.
Yeah.
John, thanks for coming
David.
tonight, and glad you were able to get on Zoom, and we'll talk to you again.
Okay, Bob, I'm going to take off also, okay?
All right,
Okay.
that's fine. All you have to do is hit that red "Leave the meeting" in the bottom right-hand corner. It'll drop you
Okay,
out.
thanks a lot for introducing me to this. I really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. It was my honor.
Keep in touch, okay?
Will do. Take care. That was great.
I think we should make John an honorary member. And anyone else, I think